Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's virtual First Thursday presentation. Just a couple things before we get started. We are going to be recording today's presentation so that you can view it again at a later time or share it with a colleague who may not have been able to attend today. All of our recordings are uploaded to our EDWS YouTube page, where you can find past First Thursday recordings, cooking demonstrations, stretch breaks, and more. So we encourage you to check that EDWS YouTube page out, and we'll provide a link to that in the comments. Today's presentation is focusing on heart health, as well as we'll have our Panther Perks Plus prize drawing at the end of today's presentation. Today my name is Ryan Smith. I'm the Wellness Program Administrator with EDWS. I'm joined by my colleague, Cheryl Johnson-Ransaw, and we are very excited to have with us a special guest speaker, Shauna M. Scott. She's from the American Heart Association. She's going to be leading our heart health presentation today. And throughout her presentation, if anyone has any questions or any comments, please make use of the chat box feature. We'll be monitoring those, and we'll be sure to share them with Shauna. And without further ado, I will now turn things over to Shauna.
Good morning, everyone. And I'm coming to you live from the Georgia State Capitol. So please forgive me if there's some background noise. It is a very busy day here at the Capitol. It is American Heart Month. And so this morning, I wanted to take an opportunity to have a conversation with you all about heart health, heart month, and what it means to be heart healthy. And so our discussion this morning will talk about what is happening in Atlanta from an equity perspective when it comes to heart, our core work in the Atlanta market, how we can address heart health together. So us at the American Heart Association, as well as you all at Georgia State as individuals or a part of the work that you do. And then the theme for this year's Heart Month is around CPR awareness. And so we'll just do a little bit of talk and a quick video about CPR, how to practice CPR, and then any questions that you all may have. And so when we talk about health in Atlanta, especially from the AHA perspective, our three core buckets of work is around nutrition security, blood pressure management, and tobacco use and vaping. And what we have seen outside of that is since 2020, at the rise of COVID, we have seen the need in our communities being magnified by COVID. And when we look at the three areas, when we talk about nutrition security, we are seeing more and more students relying on free or reduced meals at schools. And then when they are not in the school space, not having access to good quality meals. From a blood pressure perspective, 1 in 3 of us Atlantans have some sort of high blood pressure. And then we don't see a lot of people smoking anymore, smoking tobacco products, but what we do see is more and more individuals vaping, and more of our high school and middle school, as well as fifth graders, consuming vaping products than ever before. And so our work at the association is really to look at all of those collectively and look at what high blood pressure means and how we can address high blood pressure. And so high blood pressure for us is understanding what is happening inside of the body internally. Many people may not be aware when they have high blood pressure. It is what we call the silent killer. But what is happening is that blood is pushing against your blood vessels, and then the pressure in the arteries is higher than it should be. So if you think about your arteries as maybe a tire, right? And we see our tire pressure on our car, and we have, a number that's considered neutral. But then if we pump too much air in our tires, then that pressure in our tires increases. It's higher than it should be, and it causes that force. That is the same thing that's similar to what's happening in our arteries when that blood is pushing against our blood vessel walls. And so our pressure becomes higher than it needs to be. And so we have our systolic and our diastolic, those numbers that are being measured. And so a healthy blood pressure or a healthy blood pressure range is anything that is below 120 over 80. Ideal blood pressure is that 120 over 80. Anything over that 120 over 80 is considered high blood pressure or elevated blood pressure when we are looking at 140 over 90, or even extreme high blood pressure, which is anything over 140, our 160s, 170s, etc. But high blood pressure is, that domino, that chain that can lead to devastating consequences. And you see some of the consequences here. The ones that many people are most familiar with when they think about high blood pressure is that risk for heart failure, heart attack, and stroke. But also there is a risk for vision loss. High blood pressure can strain the vessels in our eyes and increase your risk for vision loss, as well as high blood pressure can cause sexual dysfunction in both men and women. But it is manageable and it is treatable and preventable. And so the ways that we can manage, treat, and prevent high blood pressure, especially when you don't have genetic and family risk factors, you could adhere to a healthy lifestyle. So healthy diet, maintaining a healthy weight, having sufficient physical activity, not smoking, and then reducing or limiting your alcohol consumption, and then getting adequate sleep. Many people are not aware that sleep plays a role in our blood pressure and our heart health. And so getting adequate rest is important if we want to manage our blood pressure. And then regularly checking your blood pressure should be a part of your routine. If you already have been diagnosed with high blood pressure, ensuring that you have a blood pressure device at your home and we know that cardiac arrest and heart conditions is one of those consequences. And so I wanted to talk about sudden cardiac arrest, which may or may not be impacted by our blood pressure. And if any of you all are, football fans, or if you've just been watching the news, you all have heard about Damar Hamlin and his situation in the NFL game on January 2nd. And so sudden cardiac arrest is something that can happen to anyone. And someone in the US dies from sudden cardiac arrest by the time I'll be finished reading the contents of this page. And most deaths from sudden cardiac arrest do occur in the home. And so we want people to be aware of this. We want you to be aware that you should act quickly if someone does go into sudden cardiac arrest. Don't be panicked. You may be in shock, but still try to act very quickly by calling 911 and then performing CPR. From the data, we do know that after 10 minutes, if you have not received CPR, your chances of survival for a sudden cardiac arrest is close to zero. And so we want to ensure that CPR is performed within those first 10 minutes. And then just understanding a little bit more of the data about heart disease and cardiac arrest. We do know that about 70% of cardiac arrests, again, don't happen in the hospital. They are happening at home, and they are happening around the holiday season. So Thanksgiving, Christmas, etc., when we are home enjoying that time with family, because we may be consuming more alcohol. We may, not getting our adequate rest. We may not be engaging in our physical activity, or we are engaging in our physical activity, but we are getting too much. We are overdoing it. We are doing strenuous activities. And so we want to be aware of being moderate in all the things that we do. And so the things that we want to consider this month in Heart Month, and also with it being Black History Month, is that people who are less likely to receive help in public when it comes to cardiac arrest, women are less likely to receive CPR compared to men. You see the statistics here, 45% of men receive bystander CPR compared to only 39% of women. And then when we look at the data from a racial perspective, Black and Hispanic adults are 41% less likely to receive CPR in public than white individuals. And so what we want everyone to do and to know, regardless of race, regardless of gender, is hands-only CPR. It is the CPR that is easy and quick with the compressions minus the breath. And so we will do a little intro to CPR. We'll talk about the steps for hands-only. We won't practice together, but there will be some opportunities for you all to practice on your own and then ask any questions that you may have. And so CPR is an equity issue. Again, from the data, when we talk about women versus men, when we look at race, and lack of CPR training is a health equity issue. And oftentimes people are afraid to be trained in CPR because they think that it's supposed to, the only opportunity is that long, certification where it's several hours out of the day. And CPR training for hands only is a very quick and simple process. And we want people to be able to receive and give bystander CPR before that professional arrives on the scene. And so looking at CPR, again, we know that sudden cardiac arrest is a leading cause of death. And so every minute that we delay CPR decreases that chance of survival. And it's only a two-step process that we ask. If you are by yourself, then that one person will have to do that two-step process. But if someone else is with you when there is a sudden cardiac arrest, then they can tag team it. And so one person can do step one, which is calling 911 immediately. And then the other person can do the push hard and fast. So those are the two things that you need to know if someone in your presence has experienced some sort of sudden cardiac arrest. Step one, call 911 immediately. So if possible, have someone else call while you begin CPR. And you begin CPR by looking at that image there, one hand over the other, fingers interlaced, and you are pushing directly over the chest, 100 beats per minute until help arrives. And it is a fast process. We are going fast. And so with CPR and how fast you are going, there are many songs that we train individuals to sort of sing in their head or sing out loud as they are participating or doing the compressions. And so again, I want you all to remember this. It is a two-step process. Step one, call 911. And step two, push hard and fast in that center of the chest with your fingers interlaced. And if y'all have a moment, I'm gonna pause and you can scan this code here on the screen and get to that link where you will be able to learn CPR on your own after this session. It's a quick video that will teach you the basics of pushing hard and fast and exactly how to do it without hurting the person. I think that's also a lot of fears that people may have. Will I break their ribs? Will something happen? Will they be okay? And so the video that is at the QR code will, in short, we'll talk to you about those and help alleviate some of those concerns that you may have. There's also educational information at that video, at that link. Feel free to send it out, share it with others, because we want as many people to know CPR by the end of this month of February. And so you're gonna be the beat. Be the beat is using any song that is 100 beats per minute. And so the one that AHA likes to promote is that Bee Gees, Staying Alive. So I'm gonna sing, I hope your ears are prepared, but staying alive, staying alive. And so we're doing the beat to that, but there are other songs. There's Whitney Houston, there is Destiny Child. There are many, many songs, and I can have the team here send you out a song list that you can utilize. If you know the Bee Gees isn't your thing, or if that's not your demographic or your age group, we are more than happy to send you all different songs that you can use to practice this Heart Month, to at least have one person in your home who knows CPR, or one person in your office there at Georgia State or in your group, so that you can save a life this Heart Month. And so I am going to quickly play this video. It is a quick 2-minute video, pretty much explaining everything that I did in 2 minutes, and it'll have the steps for you. One moment while I get this video started. If I could click it. Oops, sorry.
Hey, Shauna, unfortunately, I don't think we're able to hear the sound from the video right now.
Oh, okay. I do apologize. Well, I think that Ryan, if you can put the video in the chat, that would be super helpful. If not, I can also send it out, but I do apologize. I thought you all would be able to hear it. But it's literally everything that we went over. It's all good. There's a demonstration with the actors in this movie, talking about the importance of CPR, all of the data that I talked about women not getting CPR, and the importance of CPR and being able to get CPR in the first 10 minutes. And then they sing the Staying Alive in Practice.
So, Shauna, I did provide that link in the chat.
Thank
so for
you.
anyone in the audience, you are able to copy that link, and then we can view it after today's presentation. Sorry about that.
Awesome. No, you are totally fine. We should have talked about this yesterday, but that is all that I have this morning. You know, again, just reiterating that it is easy, it is simple. Anyone can learn CPR. You don't have to be a firefighter, a nurse, or a trained professional to perform hands-only CPR. We want everyone to be able to take the 60 seconds to teach others in your family, and visit the heart.org, or watch that video, or click that QR code for opportunities to learn how to perform CPR. So I will stop sharing and open it up for any questions that you all may have this morning.
And for anyone who may have a question, feel free to use the chat box feature, or if you want to click the raise hand button that you should have, we can take you off of mute and let you ask the question that way.
It doesn't appear that there are any questions, Ryan. I know you all have a prize drawing, and I wanted to make sure that you had the time reserved for that. But thank you all so much for allowing me the opportunity to come and speak with you this morning. If there are any questions after, feel free. Food suggestions for lowering blood pressure. So as Ms. Johnson, I wouldn't, you know, ask anyone to change their diet. I would recommend a heart healthy diet. And so what that means is consuming your fruits and vegetables. So 5 a day, ensuring that you're getting at minimum 5 fruits and vegetables per day. Also ensuring that you are drinking plenty of water. So at minimum, 2 glasses per day. So that would be 16 ounces. With your foods, I would ensure that you are consuming more, if you have options, grilled versus fried. So let's say you're getting a Caesar salad with chicken and it's grilled versus fried, I would recommend the grilled option. If you are getting, a sandwich from Chick-fil-A, I would recommend the grilled versus the crispy. And so it's not necessarily about changing your diet, but making alterations. So if you are cooking something at home, let's say chicken, and your option is grilled, fried, bake, I would recommend that grilled or that bake option. Reducing our sweets, sugary beverages, and I will say blood pressure does also go in tandem with diabetes. So we want to ensure that we're heart healthy overall. So not necessarily about changing your diet, but making modifications to your diet. So consuming more fruits and vegetables, eating our healthy grains. So brown rice versus white rice, consuming our leafy green vegetables, drinking our water, reducing our sugary beverages, and consuming our grains and our proteins, such as beans, legumes, etc. And so nothing wrong with consuming red meat, but in moderation. Nothing wrong with consuming chicken, but healthier option. And using what's called the DASH diet. So utilizing less sodium and other types of seasoning options that will not increase the sodium. Removing, what I would say to remove, Ms. Johnson, remove packaged and processed foods from your diet. So deli meat, things like that. We definitely, if you can't remove it, at least in a lot of moderation, and removing those packaged foods from your diet because they're higher in sodium. What ideas for salt substitutes? So let's see. So with the DASH diet, there are salt substitutes that they recommend, and DASH seasoning blend. So the Mrs. Dash seasoning blend is, I hate to do brands, but that is an option. That's exactly what they do. And it is a salt-free everything but the salt seasoning blend. So if you can find any other options that are salt-free everything, but the salt seasoning blend. So, your seasoning salt, your garlic powder, your onion powder, and you can, make your own concoctions. I would recommend those. So rosemary, thyme, onion powder, garlic powder, parsley, sage. And you can put all of those things together and make your own seasoning blend. Squeeze some lemon or lime juice, and that is heart healthy.
And Shauna, we did have one more question that came through privately. It was,
Sure.
are there any free or low cost options for groups to learn CPR?
Yes. If you go to our heart.org link or that CPR QR code that I provided, there is information about finding or contacting us about free or no cost CPR certification. Ryan, you can feel free to put my information in the chat. And if this person is interested in the American Heart Association, coming to do a CPR training, we are more than happy to do so. And then as far as the certification, because the training is free, the certification isn't, we can find a volunteer firefighter who would be able to do so. I do also believe that public safety or the firefighter group at Georgia State does CPR training as well for campus. If this is outside of campus, we can definitely reach out to me and we can have a conversation.
All right. Well, I don't have any additional questions on my end, and it looks like the rest of the chat is clear. So, Shauna, I just want to say thank you again so much for taking time out of your day to come and talk to us about this very important topic. And of course, it's the perfect time of year to be discussing it. So thank you again. And any resources that you'd like to pass along, I'll be sure to include the link to the video in our follow-up email. And anything else you'd like to share with folks who are on the presentation today, we'll be happy to pass that along to them.
Yes, no problem. So I sent Miss Cheryl some materials before, but I'll also follow up with you again, Miss Cheryl and Mr. Ryan, with heart healthy. Some of the, based on the questions we had, I'll have some materials there that I can email and you can send out. And I don't know if y'all can hear the background noise. I do apologize, but thank you all for your patience with me being offsite today.
Oh, it's been crystal clear on our end. So
Oh,
you're all good.
perfect. Perfect. Thank you.